It's Snorkel. Welcome to the 5th anniversary of this channel. Wow, music in just the right time. So, exactly 5 years ago, April 16th, 2021, my first video on this channel launched. Diddly-coo, Detective Who. And so, I thought what I'd do is, I'm trying to do a special thing every time that this anniversary of my channel comes up. And so, I thought it'd be really cool to do an AMA from my Reddit, from my Discord community. And so that's what we're doing. So let me punch a tree, and then what we're going to do is, this is literally where I spawned. I can't believe I spawned. I love, this is probably my favorite biome. Okay, let's get going. So anyway, there's a bunch of questions, and I'm going to make a boat. I'm going to make some tools. And we'll just start heading one direction. So this is peaceful, so we don't have to worry about gribblers or anything. So let's see. Let's just, as I'm getting this stuff ready, let's just go ahead and get into it. So Dimian has several questions from our Discord community. I would try to remember to link the Discord invite in the description if you're interested in checking it out. It's a fantastic community. Why did you name your channel Snorkel? So I wanted to name my channel something that was unique. And I wanted something that was slightly original. And so I didn't do an enormous amount of research in the name. One of the things I did do is, let's see, let's go ahead and let's do this. We'll do this. Make one of these. Put this down. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. Get more of these. Just doing the standard stuff. So, okay, so I named the channel Snorkel because I wanted it to be relatively original. And I wanted it to be a little bit unique, but I also wanted it to be, I would say slightly different maybe. And so one of the things, I noticed, remember for a hot minute when everybody was playing Wordle? So one of the things I realized from playing Wordle is that I have a talent for I'll probably make an axe too, because I'll need some more wood. Oh my gosh. So I have a talent for pattern recognition in words. And one of the ways I would solve Wordle is I would put together a word that looks like it should be a real word because the letters work in the way that letters work, And so when I was playing, I couldn't think of what I wanted for the channel. So one of the things I did was, oh my gosh, look at that. That's so incredible. Is that a ruined portal? It is. Let's go check that out. But so one of the things that I was good at is just coming up with words that were fake words, but they looked like they were constructed like they should be real words. And a non-insignificant amount of time, it actually turned out to be some kind of obscure word, which struck me as really funny. I just thought that was funny. Okay, so let's see. I need to make a boat, so I'm going to need one. Yeah, 6 is enough for a boat, I think. Yeah. I want to make sure we get this done. Okay, so I was messing around and I was just hitting on. So let me see this. My standard response when people ask me that is, I chose the name Snorkel because I thought it sounded like a Pokemon, and that's why I kept the name Snorkel. But that's not how I chose it. How I chose it is, I was just hitting random things on my keyboard. And sometimes I'd encourage my cat to walk across my keyboard, and I was looking at different letter combinations, Just looking at different letter combinations, trying to figure out different things to do. And then I came up with an SNO, like SNOG, Snog. And I thought it was funny. I thought Snog's games would be funny. But Snog means something in, not my language, but I think it means something to the British. And I don't think it's particularly a great thing to name a channel after. I'll take a golden shovel. Why not? Lodestone, should I take that? I need this. I'm going to take this. Wait. Really? Hold on. If I do this, and then this, is this going to... Oh, it's missing. No, it's still missing one. Doggone it. That's too bad. That's a shame. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. So I saw Snog and thought that was interesting. So I just started playing around with it, and I came up with the name Snorgle. And I do like it because I thought it sounded like a Pokemon, and I still do. I mean, maybe some sort of, maybe one of the evolutions of Snorlax that never got, that ended up on the cutting room floor or something. I don't know. It's just something like that. We need to find some. Yeah, let's get some rock here because I need some better tools. Okay. So that's how I kept the name Snorgle. And I came up with a couple of other different names. None of them were as good as Snorgle. So I kept it. That's how I kept the name Snorgle. The next one he asks is, what made me decided I wanted to have a YouTube channel? So this is not my first YouTube channel. I had one and I did it for about a year and a half before this channel. And it was not daily. So now I do daily vids. That one was, I would do one vid a week. And let's see, that's fine. I would do one video a week and it was edited, and I don't do FaceTime on this one, but I would do FaceTime on that one. And so it was there we go. We got all these tools. Great. And I don't need, let's see, hold on. That's fine, but it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of our wooden things because we really don't need them. Let's head this way. Okay. Doing great. Now, so I kept it because I thought it was, I kept it because my other channel was, I did it for a year and a half. I was really pleased with it, but I found myself doing things like it was so difficult for me to do because the idea behind it was that I would create something. I'm being a little vague about it. I talked about what this channel was specifically before, but I'll tell you what it was. It was a food channel. I love to cook. I'm a pretty good cook. And so I had a food channel. And I would do food. I would make, and my whole thing of the food channel was every week so my bestie hates to cook. And if anything, it's going to take significantly more effort than her pulling something out of the freezer, nuking it, doing a couple of minor things to it and eating it, she's out. And so my idea was that could I create recipes that were easy enough that she would look at it and go, you know what, I could do that. But they were also still cool recipes. That was the entire concept of it. And so I that's what I did. That was the whole thing of the channel. And it was one video a week. But the thing is, it took so much time. I have a full-time job, and it took me 40 to 60 hours every single week. Every single week, it took me 40 to 60 hours to make a video. And it was just too much. It was untenable. I just couldn't do it. And so I wanted to come up with a different channel that I could do. And so I kind of could see the writing on the wall. And one of the things I really wanted to get better at when I was doing my food channel is being able to sort of talk a little bit more on the fly as I'm doing stuff. And so while I was doing that, I started doing live streaming. And it was not the same type of content that I do now. I play like some Metal Gear Solid and just more Striker. Just a different types of games, more games that I'm more commonly played with, that I was more comfortable with. I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that, but I really need your wool. So sorry. And I need your wool too. I'm really sorry. I really am sorry about this. But I got to get out of bed, so here, you can keep this so I don't need it. Okay. So I was doing that while I was doing the other thing, and not that many, just some friends of mine attended. Let's see, which direction we want to go? We want to head this way? Sure. We'll head this way. So that number is going down. The last number is going down. The Z. Okay, so I just couldn't do I found myself with my food channel, I didn't have enough time to do something, so I ended up doing like reviews. And I tried to be thoughtful reviews and stuff, right? But I didn't like the fact that I wasn't really doing what I set out the channel to do and what my vision for the channel was. And then I just realized I can't do this. It's not going to work for me. It's just not going to work. So I did a bunch of research, and I thought gaming seems like something, because I'm a gamer and I really like to game. And I just thought about what could I do for a gaming channel that would be a little bit different and that would be something that a creative vision that I wanted. And I started thinking about a lot of gaming channels. And a lot of gaming channels are like mega aggro, super high, like really, really mega high energy, you know what I mean? Like shouty shouts for to shout and boy, I don't like that at all. And I thought maybe I create a channel that is the opposite of that. How about I create a channel that's just really chill, just plays chill games, and just is a channel where you can go and relax and hang out and do whatever. And people said in my cooking videos that when I did like voiceover, they really liked my voice. They thought that I had a nice voice. And so I thought, okay, I think that I mean, this is who I am in person. I'm not an actor. I'm not putting something on this. What you see in Snorgle's channel is what you get, right? And so I thought, well, I'm a pretty chill guy, and I think that I can do a nice job at doing a sort of relaxing, cozy channel. And so that's how I thought of creating the content. And so then I did just a metric ton of research because I was trying to figure out, my idea was originally, could I produce, like, because I'm a huge fan of Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, and back in the day, they released, Jacksepticeye released 2 videos a day, and I was wondering, could I release shorter videos that are every day? Like, could I figure out a way to do that? So that, and so I did a bunch of research, and one of the things I researched, I saw an interview with Rhett and Link, and Rhett and Link are OG YouTubers, right? And somebody asked them, how do you produce a video Monday through Friday? And one of the things he said was, we treat it like a live performance. There's editing, of course, but we try to keep the editing to a minimum, and we treat it like a live performance. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And so that's the whole genesis of how that started. And that's why I wanted to do the type of channel I did. But another question Demian asked is, what made me decide to make my YouTube channel in the first place? And even with the cooking channel, it's the same thing. I don't go to movies. I couldn't tell you last time I went to a movie. I don't watch TV. I don't subscribe to any streaming services. Almost all of my content I get either from YouTube or occasionally some other streaming platforms that won't be named. and I don't do the streaming stuff that much. I do a couple things because they don't do anything else and I like the content. But for the most part, I just get all of my entertainment from YouTube. And so I wanted to get what's as little as it might be. What the heck is that? Is that a portal in there? Wait a minute. Let's go down there. Let's go down there and see. It is. Huh. Oh, wait, what's up? What? Stop. Where is the chest? Here it is. Any good loot? I'll take some gold. Sure. That's not. Wait. We'll take an obsidian. Why not? Let's go up. I'm going to die. I'm not going to die that much because it's peaceful, but cool. Okay, so I want basically the short answer is I wanted to give back to the community, as little as what I do makes a difference. I wanted to give back to community, and I wanted to have a positive influence because I think about creators like Queso, and Queso to me, his attitude is very old school YouTube. It's not Mr. Beast, right? It's not everything. It doesn't have to be the spectacle. He's just doing cool stuff that he really likes. He's very entertaining about it. And he's a good gamer, right? But he's doing stuff he likes. It's not this spectacular whatever that has to be more spectacular than the last. And I appreciate that. And that's sort of kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be more of an old school YouTuber. That's the type of channel I wanted. What's different about video making than I expected? That's an interesting question. So I can say there's a couple of things. One of the things I would say is that it's a little bit difficult when you first start. If you're filming yourself, like if you're videoing yourself, it's a little bit difficult to get used to videoing yourself. It just, and you get used to it. You absolutely do get used to it, but it takes a little while. It's tricky. It's like hearing your voice for the first time you're recording. It doesn't. You just have to get used to it. Pretty soon you get used to it, and you can make objective decisions, and it's all good. But it just takes a little bit. The other thing is it's, for me, all of my videos are edited, and for the most part, I'm really good at doing seamless edits. I would say 75% of the edits that I do are almost undetectable. It depends on the game. Sometimes you can't, but a lot of games you can. And that's what I try to do. I try to make it seem like you're just sitting down with me and I'm playing for 30 minutes. And typically I might play for 45 minutes and maybe 12 minutes get cut out, something like that. That's pretty typical for me. So that's the thing that's a little bit unexpected that has sort of evolved over time. What are my favorite games? Boy. So, okay, let's first of all, Minecraft. And let me talk, if you're not familiar with me or my channel, a little over a year ago, I started playing Minecraft for the first time. I never played it when I was younger. My friends did, I never did because I don't like crafting games. And I'll be honest with you, I still don't. In general, I don't like crafting games, but I thought it would be fun. I played Undertale. And I didn't play Undertale, not because I didn't like it, because I felt like I kind of missed out on it. Is that a... Yeah, that's a village. Cool. Stop at the village, see if we can get something cool. See if we can get some good loot. So, here, okay. So, when I played Minecraft for the first time, in the first, 10 minutes, you can watch the video if you want to, it's titled First Time Playing Minecraft, and I was like, oh, this is why it's the best-selling game of all time, because it's amazing. like legitimately, it's incredible. What's going on here? Quick, stop. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so, I guess I'll take this. I don't know. I don't need any food, so that's fine. I'll take a bed too. Wait, I set my spawn point now. Okay. Let's see if we can get some armor or something, or some better tools. Okay, so Minecraft is one of my favorite games of all time. I know I've been playing a year, but it genuinely is. It's one of the most thoughtful, well-designed pieces of software I've ever seen. And I mean that, not just games, just in general, software in general. It's so thoughtful, it's incredible. And the other game is, this is going to be out in left field, but it's a game called Deadly Premonition. And I want to be clear here. The Steam version of this game, it was ported from PlayStation. The Steam version of this game is literally one of the biggest pieces of garbage I've ever played in my entire life. And that's the version I played. It crashes more than any game I've ever seen. It shouldn't even be, it's just terrible. It's terrible. There are multiple chapters that soft lock you. Legitimately, multiple chapters that soft lock you. It's horrible. So, but at the reason anybody's saying, Snorgle, why, how can you say that's your favorite game? Well, because here's the thing, right? It's one of those games where I feel like the humor, the gameplay, everything was exclusively written for me and my enjoyment. Like just the jokes, the way the gameplay is, the story, it's just so funny. And it's not a great game, but I feel like Swery, the Japanese director that made Deadly Premonition, just caught lightning in a bottle. So that's I have a three-way tie for my favorite games. The other one of my favorite games is a game called Journey. And remember that feeling as a kid? Can you remember the first time you remember playing a video game? You're really young, right? First time you remember playing a video game. And you just, as a kid, you just have this sense of awe and wonder and magic at this thing that's incredible. And I never, ever thought anything as an adult would give me that feeling again. And Journey did. And it's an old game. It's 10 years plus old. It's such a magical, amazing game. It's legitimately, it's absolutely like the top. So those are my 3 top favorite games ever. Why don't I like dragons? Okay, I should explain something about this if you don't know me. I don't like dragons, and in general, I don't have anything to do with them. And I want to be clear: I'm not afraid of dragons. I know dragons aren't real. Okay, I'm not afraid of them. I don't wish ill on dragons. It's from as long back as I can remember. I mean, as long back as I can remember. I wanted anything to do with dragons. If there was a movie or a TV show with dragons in it, I was out. If there was a book with dragons in it, I was out. My mom tells a story of when I was 3 years old. She was reading a book to me, and there happened to be a dragon in it. And without saying anything, I just got up and walked out of the room. 3 years old, and it hasn't changed. I don't know why, but I just don't want anything to do with dragons. It's not like I don't like zombies in general because I think that zombies is lazy writing. But in general, not always, but in general. But here I am playing a game that's, a crafting game, which I don't like, that also has zombies. And it's my favorite game. So anyway, that's why I don't like dragons, is I don't know why, and I can't articulate it, but I don't. I just want nothing to do with it. I don't wish ill on them. I just don't want anything to do with dragons. Let's see. We got 2 more questions from Jimmy, and then we can move on. Why are black cats my favorite cat? So I have a friend. There's a couple of reasons, but one of the reasons is I have a friend who volunteers for an animal rescue. And she was telling me that at a lot here in North America, at a lot of the animal shelters, black cats are absolutely the last cats to go because everybody thinks they're bad luck. And that just stuck with me. Like, that's so stupid and sad. It really angers me greatly. And then, you look at some black cats, it's like when you see some black cats in the sun, right? You see a good void in the sun. And my cat's this way. My cat's a black cat, of course. The best. And he's actually got stripes. He has like lion stripe, but they're subtle and you can't see them when they're, you can't see them. And a lot of black cats, if you look at them in the right light, they actually have really cool markings. They're just really, really subtle. And so anyway, that's a combination of stuff like that. And I would like to think that I recall that New Zealanders think that black cats are lucky. And that's the belief I hold to, is that I think black cats are lucky. And so that's why I think black cats are the best cats objectively. What else do we have? Last question from Dimian, I think. Will we ever get a sneak peek of the older cooking channel? I brought this up before. I don't think so. Maybe I might find a way to work it out. I don't know. We'll see. I did actually. Maybe. that's a cautious maybe. We'll see. I wasn't as careful on that channel about self-doxing myself. I'll be honest with you. That's why I sort of nuked it and all the videos and the channel's gone. Like it's all gone now. With a fresh start from the struggle. But we'll see. Okay. Twisted asks, what do I think of the community I built? And I've been very vocal about this. For the first 3.5 years, I didn't really have a community. I mean, I didn't have Discord. I didn't really do live streams. I just had my channel, and there were people on the channel who would comment, and that's great. But I just kind of had my channel. But there wasn't a real sense of community. And then when I started Undertale, and I played that for the first time, and it attracted a lot of new people, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, you totally should have a Discord." And so I was still at this point not really doing a lot of live streams at all. And so I kept saying, well, I'll do a Discord. I'll get around to it at some point, and then I got the brilliant idea when I played because of Undertale. I thought, I should do first time playing Minecraft. I think that'd be really fun. Yeah, because, I don't particularly, it's a game that I think here's how I thought it was going to go. I thought that it was a game that I'm not going to be good at and that I'm not going to like. And I just thought I thought that could make a really funny video. I thought that sometimes can make for really good content. So that's how I started. Thought I'm going to make Minecraft videos. And then I just loved it from when I first started playing. I was like, oh, this is literally one of the best games I've ever played. Like, it's incredible. And so then there was a bigger push when I started doing some Minecraft live streams. There was a much bigger push for people for me to do live streams because they wanted to interact more, and I understand that. So that's when the community really started getting built. I think was at that point in time when I started doing weekly live streams, and I still do Sundays. Sundays 10:30 Eastern. You can figure it out in your time zone. So anyway, I have to say that all said for how the community got built. I can't believe how amazing my community is, and I'm not just saying that. I genuinely mean it. I'm tearing up a little bit thinking about how wonderful it is. When I made this channel, I thought very carefully and a lot about the vibe I wanted the brand Snorgle Games to have, and it's a very specific vibe. And I'd like to think that I always thought, I want to be the kind of channel that someone can hear, not even see, someone just hear in the background and go, oh, that's Snorgle. From the vibe and my voice and just the whole thing of the channel, to stop and say, oh, that's Snorgle. Because I think people could do that with Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or Queso. And so I want to be that kind of channel. I want a very specific vibe and a very specific sort of thing. And the community is just done so much more than I ever would thought that any community could be possible. And it humbles me so much that this amazing community was built around this vision I had, this sort of chaotic vision that I had, for YouTube. And it always, some people say that they put me on to help them reduce stress. They play my channel to help them reduce stress. They use it as a background when they're playing videos. It just humbles me so much that people make me a part of their lives. And everybody in the community is so fantastic. And I also feel like everybody in the community knows how magical it is and is fiercely protective of that magic and how great it is. And let me tell you, the community are the people who built it. It's not me. like I'm just a guy behind the camera. Theoretically. That's what I think of the community. I think it's incredible, and I've talked about this before, but it's just amazing, and I'm so humbled that people choose to make me part of their life. Let's see what else we have. Also, Not a Barney asks, what were the video live streams you had the most fun recording? That's an interesting thought. So okay, the most fun recording. Let's do live streams first, because what makes a fun video for me to record it may not necessarily make the best live stream. So the ones I like the most are where there's a lot of community involvement. So like the spot the anomaly games. Let's set this bed down here. Why not? Like the Spot the Anomaly games, Exit 8, things like that. Like those are so much fun because everybody's so invested in it and everybody's there and watching and it's very cool. It's really exciting. I love those types of games. For the videos, what's the most fun I've had making a video? I'm trying to think. I mean, from a magical standpoint, there's a point in Journey. There's one video in Journey, and Journey just blew me away the whole time. It's such a chill, interesting game. And there's one point, and I don't know why this affected me like this. But there's a point when you're it's in a desert, and you're literally surfing down these dunes in a desert, and it's sort of like, it's not an isometric game, it's a 3D game, but there's an isometric view, that kind of 45 degrees from the back, as you're surfing. And there's a point when you're going down when you kind of make this turn and the camera swivels to a side view and you get this cinematic shot of you surfing down this sort of tunnel, and you can see in the distance this huge ruined city. It just blew me away. It legitimately just blew me away. I remember when I made the video, I was like, oh my God. Like literally, it just took the breath out of me. I think that's one that really sticks out as one of my favorites that I've ever played. I'm trying to think if there's any others. Some of the ones I like some of the ones where something really stupidly silly happens, and just legitimately cracks me up. There was one video that sticks out. This isn't silly. This is just funny. I was playing a game called Stories Untold. It's a really great game by Scottish studio. They used to be called No Code. Now they're called something else. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. Anyway, Stories Untold. It's a horror game, and there's this one part where you're like in a Antarctic research station or something, and you have to go outside to do this thing. It's really scary, and it's all this spoopy stuff happening. You don't know what's going on, and there was a real life thunderstorm here, and there was the biggest, at a really scary part, there was the biggest thunderclap. I mean, it actually picked up on the mic. Like I have a noise gate and everything on my mic, and it was so loud it picked up on my mic. It scared the crap out of me. It was so much funny. It was so funny. Okay, let's see. What was the worst experience you had doing it? Okay, I can talk a couple things about this. These are so there's a couple of things I'll talk. This isn't really the worst thing. I'll talk about a little bit one first too that probably you don't know. So I recorded a game. I typically record, I try to be, I'm not always succeed at this, but I try to be a little bit ahead of time. That's how I can produce 9 videos a week. I try to record a little bit ahead so that I don't always succeed in this, but my super comfortable spot is if I'm 2 weeks ahead, that's good. And so I was playing this game, and I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called. It's West something. It's a good game. It's a really good game. But this is the first time this happened. When I first started playing, if I started a game, I was going to end it. And I still kind of feel that way, but I'm not as militant about it as I used to be. But I still kind of feel that way, but I'm not as militant. Anyway, I was playing this game, and it's a classic RPG. It's a good game, but I got the fifth video recorded. And I was looking at the edit, and I was like, you know what? This is not a compelling video. This game it's a fun game, but it is absolutely not a compelling game for a Let's Play. For me, anyway. Somebody else could probably do it. It just wasn't. It was like I was editing a ton of like walking around because it's RPG. You walk around, and I just edited a ton of stuff out, and it just wasn't compelling at all. And so I just bagged it. That never went live. I was far enough ahead. I could just say I'm not doing this because this isn't going to be very good. So that was one, and I wouldn't say it's the worst experience, but I wasted probably 10 hours, maybe more, because they were hour-long videos, and I had to edit it, and anyway, that was one. But a couple of things also stick out. So another thing that sticks out for me is, and I see this a lot with indie games, and this always really irritates me. They want to end on a cliffhanger, which I understand. Hey, just a second there. I could use some iron. And a little bit of coal so we can. I don't need too much, but let's check to make sure there's no more iron. There's one, there could be more. Okay, no, there's not. That's fine. So let's see what was saying. Oh yeah, so games will often Jenny LeClue did this, and I wasn't savvy enough to realize it and sort of talk about it at the time, right? When I did my first Let's Play, and it's that they didn't resolve any of the story. The idea was they just in order to create tension, they essentially just remove the last chapter of the book. So nothing gets resolved. It's not a cliffhanger, just nothing gets resolved, and that's what they think a cliffhanger is. And that really, really irritates me because it's lazy and it's stupid and it's so disrespectful of your audience. It's bad storytelling. It's just absolutely terrible storytelling, and it really irritates me every single time I come across that. So that's let's actually get a little more coal, and we'll go ahead and make some copper tools and stuff here, and at least be a little bit better off. And that I didn't know that enough, so I didn't call it out at the time. But that I call that out every time I see that now because that really irritates me. And for me, if I come across a game that does that, I'm not playing a sequel. They've disrespected me so much that I'm not playing a sequel. So that irritates me quite a bit. I've had a couple of games where they were soft locked at a certain point. And I had to replay the whole game to get the video. Fortunately, none of them were super long, but still, that's a couple hours wasted. which is irritating. But in general, I'd say those are things, and none of them are terribly bad, right? None of them are horrible. It just happens sometimes. Let's go ahead and I need some. Oh, look down there. I need 8 of these. Need a little more copper. Why not? Okay, let's just smelt some stuff. What's the most crazy comment I got? Comments are pretty chill in general. I'm trying to think of the most crazy comment I got. I actually do know what it was. So I'm not gonna say this game is, because I don't want to. Again, I'm not going to call anybody out or do anything like that. That's not who I am. But I played a game that was about a cult, being in a cult, and this cult had they'd all committed suicide, and this was a person was supposedly investigating this cult, right? And so I had this was a while after I put it out, and I had a title saying something about, the leader of this cult's a fraud, and somebody got really irritated that I was like spoilers, and it just cracked me up because I'm like, it's a cult. Like dude, it's a cult. Of course the leader's a fraud. Like, it's a cult. Okay, let's make a bed here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we will go to sleep, and then we'll smelt some stuff in the morning. Isn't it nighttime? Surely it is. Oh, it's not even close. We can smell some stuff now. Then great. So anyway, that's one that really cracked me up about that. That genuinely cracked me up. Kaz, that was from Muckymon, by the way. Those last 2 were from Muckymon. Kaz asks me, what's my motivation to continue to make videos on YouTube? As far as you know, you do it because I love it, but you later like a greater deep dive. And yeah, let's talk about that, because I'd love to talk about that. I do love it. I love it very much. I enjoy the process of making it. I like being a creator. I like creating things. Let's see. Let's get some of this going. Yeah, I like being a creator. I like creating things. I love it. And again, I talked about this before a little bit too. I really enjoy giving back to the community. But as I find that I want to, I feel like that YouTube has changed since, not necessarily since I've been, it definitely has moved a direction since I've started doing it 5 years ago, but it's changed dramatically from like 10 years ago, right? When you were just like, people wanted views and things like that, but they also, they do something because they thought it was cool. And again, like I said, Queso's a great example of a new Let's Player live streamer who's got an old school approach. And I feel like I agree with Jacksepticeye. And you can come at me. I mean, somebody, if I'm just doing what I'm doing, but there are some channels, I won't name names, but there's some channels that it's just, everything is about the views. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about doing the right thing. They don't care about what's coming across. They don't care about anything. They just care about the views. And, you see it, I think you see it sometimes in some Minecraft videos too. Like, people talk about doing stuff for the views, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of it. I understand doing stuff for the views, and I understand getting that buy, and I get all of that. I 100% understand all of that. And I understand that getting views are important, especially if it's your livelihood. But, at some point, you're also doing something creative. You're in a creative endeavor, and at some point, you can sell out and you go too far. I'm just saying, like, and I say this as somebody who used to be a professional musician. I'm a formerly trained musician. I used to be professional. I understand that. I understand needing to put food on the table and pay your rent or your mortgage. Like, I 100% understand that. Nobody understands that more than me. But I also understand creative vision, and I understand that sometimes you have to do what you think is not just going to get you the absolute most views. because that is a dangerous, I think that's a very dangerous, as a creative, I think that's an extraordinarily dangerous road to go down. And I mean that. I'm genuinely dangerous. Like, I think that's really, really dangerous. And I think as a creative, you maybe don't realize how dangerous it is. So, what else do we have here? So anyway, but I addressed a little bit, I didn't address all of it. So what makes me want to do it? So part of it is the creative vision I have for the channel. And I have a very specific creative vision that I have for this channel, and I think that I'm starting to achieve it, you know? I really do. I think that I'm getting there. And I'm really proud of that, right? I'm genuinely proud of the fact that I have this creative vision, and it's happening. I think that's really cool. It's really neat. And it makes me really proud, you know? Let's see. Yeah, here we go. We want some copper pants. Yep. Do we want more copper? Thank you. And the copper helmet. Do you have copper? Yeah. We need more. Put this in here. Bonk. But that's kind of why I do it. And then as I do it more, I enjoy the fact that you know, my channel's a tiny little channel, but I'm really proud of the content that I'm producing, because I think it's good. It could be better if I had more time. If I you know, I have a full-time job. I produce a video every single day, plus 2 videos on Tuesday and Thursday. Like, I produce a lot of content, and I put a lot of effort into it. And I feel like I'm really, really proud of the fact that where my videos are headed and the quality that they are and what they've done. And I'm really proud of it. I'm proud that my vision is coming across. I'm genuinely proud of that. And that's part of that's momentum too, right? Once you get going, you kind of end up getting a lot of momentum towards that kind of thing, right? And so that's part of it too. We can put these on now. Thank you, Copper Update. It's so funny to me that the Copper Update was controversial. I think it's funny. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep this going. We'll get all this in there. I guess I can make another one. We can have double. Let's do that. Let's be faster. Oops. Okay, put this here. Put that there. Get that in there. Okay, hold on. I think that'll do it. Nope. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. Good. Okay, can I have shoes for this? I think I can get shoes for this much. I can. Great. Great, I'm all copied up. Nice. Okay. Good. Going this way? Yes, going this way. So, okay. Let's see some other questions. What's the least favorite game I've ever played? 3 games come to mind. 3 games come to mind. I'm going to name one by name. I'll name one by name, and then I'm gonna not name the others by name because they're from tiny little developers and it's fine. Okay. Okay. So there's a game called A Story About My Uncle, and it's by the same. Here's why I'm naming that, because it's by the same studio that did Goat Simulator, and so they obviously this came out, I think, a little before Goat Simulator did, and it's terrible, and it's popular with some speedrunners again because it's so brutally difficult, but not brutally difficult because they meant it to be brutally difficult because they made a bad game. It's a platformer. I mean, the voice acting is not great. It's bad, in fact. But it's a platformer, like a 3D platformer. And, you know, the thing about I think that 3D platformers are extremely difficult if you don't just nail the controls. And the controls are really difficult to get down, right? Controls are very difficult to get down, in my opinion, in 3D platformers. It's very hard. Okay. So, wait, I don't want that in my shield hand. I want to get rid of it. Get out of there. And it was brutally difficult, and like it was very common, for example, for you have these like really long sections, and maybe if in other brutal things, it might be maybe spend a half an hour on it, right? And it's string together these different really brutal sort of platforming things, and maybe there's 4 of them, and the first one is so hard. You work on it for like, and this was not just me, but the people complained about it in people complained about it a little bit in some of the forums. And of course, there's always the get good types naturally, but really, it's not a good game. It's just a bad game. So that's one that sticks out to me particularly, like especially, just because it's an awful game. And there's a couple of the games I can think of as well. And again, I'm not going to name these games because they're small developers, and maybe they made a mistake or they didn't know what they were doing or whatever, right? I mean, and so let's get moving. I'm sick of staying here. They're tiny little developers. They didn't know what they were doing, and you know, it's in one case, the first case. So this was one of the first games I played like this, and it's one of those escape the room games, right? And it was okay. It was fine. It was done by a single solo, maybe Lithuanian developer. I'm not sure. Maybe Russian. I don't remember. And so there was this one part where like you end up, you're stuck the most of the time, like 80% of the game, you're stuck in this like hotel room. You're locked in this hotel room. You have to figure out how to get out. And you don't remember anything about you. So you have to try to remember you have total amnesia. You have to try to remember what you're doing and why you're there and a bunch of other stuff. And it's, ooh. And so it's a super interesting game. It's that thing is interesting, but there's this one part where it's basically this, look at that. What is that? Looks man-made. Let's go down and see if we can, see if we can get something down here. I got gold pants. That's probably better than what I have, right? Up we go. Okay. That's probably better. Cool. Got an upgrade. Gold pants. Now I'm fancy. But there's this one part you go in there, and it's not really a maze. It's one of those things where you walk up, and it's adjacent to a maze, right? You walk up, and you finally find yourself outside, and hey, there's a village. Let's go check it out. And so you finally find yourself outside, and it's just like, there's no clues to this or anything, right? It's not one of those things where like, you're walking and there's this fenced in hallway, right? And again, there's no clues at all. There's nothing you can grok to figure out what decisions to make. And you're just presented with this, there's a gate on the left and a gate on the right. You have to choose one or the other. And so, okay, those kind of things, like, right, got it. And then if you choose the wrong one, you start over. I understand those games, right? I got it. But the problem is, because typically the way those work is you do that, right? Oh wait, I could use a bundle. You typically do those, like so the first one you go, okay, now I go left in the first one. Got it. And then you go and you try the second one, you get it wrong. So, okay, now I go right in the second one or whatever, right? It's and we're upgrading all over the place. I think that this is better than gold, but I'm not entirely sure, but I will take this. Okay. Hello, how you doing? And so the problem is, and I didn't figure out till a long time later, which one you took was completely randomized. So there's nothing you could do to make yourself win or make yourself play better or anything. It was every single choice was randomized. It was so, what the heck? What happened here? Hold on. Can I get in there? Can I get in there? There. I'm taking your bed. Sorry about your house. I mean, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, you know. Let's go. Okay. And so it was just infuriating. There's nothing I could do. Nothing you could do at all to help improve the gameplay enough to do whatever. You just had to slog through it till you happened to accidentally get it right. It was such a frustrating experience. And there was another game very similar to this. It wasn't exactly the same because, you know, it wasn't identical, but it was interesting in that this was done, I think it was done by a small Israeli developer. And it's a really cool game. I really enjoyed it quite a bit, actually. But they had this one section. So you go around, you play these things, talk to people, and every once in a while, you might have to play some kind of board game or something like that. It was an interesting idea, right? Very interesting idea that you had to play this board game to win something. And the board game was an interesting game. It wasn't really Connect 4, but it was kind of like that, where like you had very limited moves you could make, and very limited moves you could make, and you could only move like a particular direction or something like that. And the board setup, it didn't start with the same setup every time. It started with a different setup every time, and that setup was randomized. And there was no learning the game, getting better at it, and winning. That wasn't it. It was more common. I played what should have been 15 minutes. I played almost 2 hours to beat that. And that was all edited out, obviously. But at one point, I just stopped recording. It was like, we'll explain what happened when I get done with this, because this is ridiculous. And I was lucky. When I went to look at the forums, people were like, I played that game for 8 hours. I played that game for 6 hours. I played that game for, it's just so, oh, those babies. Oh, look at the little pigos. They're babies. They're so cute. So cute. It was just, I hate that. Oh, such a slog. So that last one was asked by watching too much YouTube. This one's by Strikerd. If I had a game that I look forward to playing, which game is on the top of that list? If I had a game worth playing, which game on the top of that list? That's an interesting question. That's not, I assume that's not released, or maybe it's released but I haven't played it. That's a good question. I don't, you know, I'm doing a series where I go through and play in chronological order the Five Nights at Freddy's game. And because that's another franchise I never really played because it's all resource management, and I suck at resource management in games. I'm really terrible at it. And I'm not particularly observant either. And those are the two things that game is based on. So, but I've played the first three and I've enjoyed them immensely. So I'm super looking forward to playing the other ones. Very much so. Is there any other games? I'm trying to think. There's some games that there's a game, and I can't remember the name of it. It's by the same company that did Journey. And it was supposed to be a spiritual success for Journey, and it's an absolute garbage pile. It's terrible. It's really sad to see the company that literally answered the question, yes, video games are art, just go downhill so fast. It's really terrible. That's upsetting. I was really looking forward to that. And it's been in early release for a long time, and it's just a hot mess, which makes me very sad. Oh, what's in here? Oh, wait. I'll take this bundle. What else? You know, I really want to play, and I can't remember what it's called. The Davey Whedon of the Stanley Parable. He's got a game out about making tea, and I'm really looking forward to playing that because I love the Stanley Parable so much. Stanley Parable is one of my top 10 favorite games. It's such a great game, and I'm super looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the next game by the people that made Superliminal, because that was another game that I thought was just so original and so fantastic. And they're working on another game, and they haven't said what it is, but I really want to see what that is because I think that's really cool. I'm very much looking forward to playing that as well. I think that those are the big ones, probably. I would love to play the new Stalker, but it doesn't really fit into my channel. I'm a huge fan of the franchise, but it doesn't really fit into my channel, so I might try to do something else. Let's see. What else? Do I have an OC? Original character, maybe? Do I have an OC? I'd say Guppy. If people don't know, anytime a game can have me a cat, hopefully a black cat, it's a character that started in Minecraft and has moved over to Stardew Valley and some other stuff. So it's always the same cat that transcends different universes and different realities. And that cat's Guppy. And I'll talk to Guppy and do, whoa, that's a death hole. Jeez. Maybe I'd say that is it. Let's see. What status would you see yourself as? Oh, chaotic or chaotic neutral? Like personally or Snorgle? I mean, personally, I think I'm probably chaotic. I don't like to admit it, but I think I probably am. But I think Snorgle's a little more chill than that. I think Snorgle is probably chaotic neutral. Nah, Snorgle's chaotic. Finally, what's the true goal of this year channel-wise? So let's talk about that, because last year I had growth that I never could, and it was driven 100% by, not 100%, mostly by Minecraft, but also a little less so Undertale. Undertale's what lit the fuse, but Minecraft is what blew up. And I never thought in a million years that I would ever become a YouTube partner anytime before 2030. I'll be honest with you. Because my growth was just so slow. I started last year with 200 subs, 250 maybe, and I ended up with 500. The growth was just incredible. I know that doesn't sound like much, but look, my channel's tiny, and my growth is tiny, but then August came, and there were some changes to the algorithm, and I'm not the only one who noticed this, because other big YouTubers have mentioned this as well, that there were big changes to the algorithm, and I feel like it's starting to come around a little bit, just in the last month or so. It's starting to change a little bit, but it just, the amount of subscribers I'm getting now, after that huge time, that 6 months was just amazing channel growth for me. I had some of the worst months. I tell you what happened. It's when they switched away from the trending tab and the subscriptions to the homepage feeding everything you need. At that point, they changed the algorithm as well, and I think it really screws over small creators. And I find it's harder for me to discover small creators that I don't know about. I have to do a lot more research into it, and that's disappointing. But I am gonna keep doing what I'm doing, because I have this vision, and I love my community, and I love the work I'm doing, and I'm just gonna keep going. And some weasel in a business suit who wants everything to be like some fantastic challenge where you give away, $80 million to somebody who can keep their hands on some supercar the longest. I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because I think that it's good and I like it, and I think that it gives positive things to the community. And I think that videos and things like that are run strictly on stuff like that don't. And so that's sort of the background for this. It's normal, getting salty. Hot takes. But if I could get to, I think that my growth is going to go back to being very modest, unless something weird happens. Oh, hold on. I'll take this. Unless something weird happens, right? Something unusual. I get a shout out from somebody or something. I think that my growth is going to be very, very, what's always been, right? What the heck? So I would say, if I could get, for this year, so that overall my goal is what the heck is going on with this thing? Is my next big goal is to get to 1,000 subs. I don't think that's going to happen for years. I'm just being realistic. Like the way that my channel grows, I don't think it's going to happen for years. Which is fine, right? It'd be great if it could grow more than that, but it's fine. If I could get to I just had such a bad year, and I feel like it's so slow in turning around that if I could get 50 subs this year, I'd be happy. You know, I get 50 new subs this year, I'd be happy. And I know that sounds pathetic, but it's just, I'm just being realistic. Like I had such a pogo stick year where I just had this phenomenal, amazing growth, and I did not expect it to happen. I realized I understand how growth works. I understand that something happens and it catches the eye of something, and then after a while that slows down, right? You can't maintain that sort of meteoric growth. I understand it, and it, you know, I mean, meteoric for my tiny little channel, right? And so, but it just felt like a kick in the head when they made that change, and it just completely screwed over small channels without even thinking about it. And I don't, I'll be honest with you, I don't think the previous CEO of YouTube would have done that. I'm just saying. I think that this is the new CEO, and I think that he's all in on the YouTube as reality TV train because they make more money. And I don't think he cares about the vibe. I don't think he cares about it is not good. I don't think he cares about that a lot of those channels are taking advantage of people. I don't think he cares about it at all. And so, you know what? I don't care about him. Like I want to keep doing my stuff. I'm really proud of the content I'm making. I'm more than proud of the community that has grown around my little channel. And I'm so happy that, and I'm really proud of the quality of work I'm doing. Like, I think that my videos continue to be the best I've done. And I keep growing and learning and doing better stuff and getting new cool people into my community all the time. It's just amazing. It's just so incredible. And as I said before, it deeply humbles me how cool everybody is. Like, everybody's chill and cool, and it 100% was more than I ever could have possibly dreamt would have happened. And I mean that, you know, the community just humbles me every single day. And I really appreciate and love every single one of you. Oh, I said it. Hot take. What's the fan base called? You know, I don't know. And I haven't thought of that. And I think I probably need to think about that. Because I actually don't know. That's an excellent question. Yeah, I actually have no idea what the fan base is called. That's an interesting thought. I don't know. I think we should have a name. I'll have to think about it. Maybe we'll get some ideas on the Discord. By the way, if you're just watching this and you're not a subscriber or a member of the Discord, you want to hang out and with a really, really cool community, probably one of the coolest communities around. I'll be honest with you. I'm not just saying that because, you know, it's my community. I'm saying it because I think it's true. Like, I think that we're extremely cool and everybody is it's literally some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Kind and thoughtful and funny and nice and just what you like. Just imagine, you know, that times 100, and everybody's so fantastic. So that's my 5-year. That's my 5-year channel. So the other thing, I'll mention one other thing too. Stryker had mentioned channel wise what my other goals are. There's a couple of goals I want to do. One is that I want to get merch this year, and it's not because I want to make money, because I don't, but I just think Snorgle merch would be cool. And I have a friend who's a graphic designer, and so I'm working with him. I'm going to price it at stuff that it's break even for me, and that he makes a little bit of money. But I'm not planning on making money at all on this at all. Like, I'll cover my taxes and and that's it. And make sure my designer friend makes money, and I'm not going to make any money. I just want people to have cool Snorgle. So I think that's one goal this year. Another goal is I'm working on a contest, and it's a Minecraft contest. And there's some technical things I need to do, but it kind of got off the rails a little bit because I got scope creeped, which happens. But I want to try to do a contest this year too. And there's a couple of technical things I have to figure out, but I think I have some really good ideas for it. I think I have some really interesting things, and there'll be prizes. The contest, I want to have contests. I'm going to have unique prizes. There will be a winner, and everybody will get some merch. So this contest is going to cost me out of pocket. I'm just saying, like everybody will get merch, and some sort of loot. But the winner, of course, will get a bunch of swag, and we're producing stuff that is going to be unique for this contest. So they're going to be just one-offs. You're not going to be able to find them anywhere except winning. And then some of this stuff is probably standard Snorgle merch. So I'm looking forward to that. That's another goal of mine. The other goal I have here is I think I'm going to do a second channel because iron. I think I'm going to do a second channel because I think it'll be interesting to do a channel that doesn't quite to be able to do some cool games that don't quite fit into the Snorgle vibe. And sometimes I do some horror games sometimes, and there's some games that I do sometimes that are definitely not super chill, Snorgle type games 100% of the time. But I'm thinking of doing a second channel just for games that don't quite fit. And I'm probably going to do so. I mentioned this before. I do 9 games a week. Like Monday through Sunday, we have games every single day. It's kind of morning-ish, late morning where I live, but it's depending on the world wherever you are. But then there's also about 4 hours later on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's an additional video. And I think that I'm going to take those additional videos, and I think I'm going to move those to a different channel so I can do so I can play some different types of games. And I'm still working out what that means because I don't want to do something that's going to harm the brand, because I like the brand I've created. I'll be honest with you, but we can go this way. Look at this. But I do think it'd be nice to have a secondary video where I could do some unusual stuff and just try out some different things without it sort of negatively affecting the overall Snorgle video. So that's another huge goal for me as well, is to do that. I'm as far as other things, I'm considering doing a new title card. I want some different branding this year. I think I'm going to rebrand, and not that I'm not going to change the name or anything like that. I think I need a new logo. I think I need a new avatar. I think I need something that's a little bit more unique. And so new title cards, that type of thing. Nothing, not huge. Just change the brand a little bit. I think that's important. Hey, I'm starting the same biome I started with. Look at that. So that's my AMA. And if I can just say something here I want to make a little statement. Having done this for 5 years, I'm really thankful for every single person who watches my videos. And I understand there's some people who only watch the live streams. Like, I get it. I 100% get it. I understand, Sure. Let's see. We could use, we've got a full set. Hold on. Let's just switch this out, shall we? You go in there. Get some leaves. Okay, and now we'll do this, and we'll wear all this stuff. +6, +6, +5. So okay, so this is better. +1, +2, so that's better. Get out of there. Oh, it's cursive binding. Crap. Oh no. No, that's terrible. Oh well, whatever. It doesn't matter. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even look at it. I'm such an idiot. Let's go ahead and put the bed down. But I just wanted to say that it's so humbling to me. So humbling that people choose to make me part of their lives, and that they choose to watch the videos they want to watch, and that they choose to consume my content. Because I didn't, when I first started this, I didn't really think that was going to be the case. You know, and it just genuinely humbles me and makes me so happy that this community has grown around my little tiny channel, and my like sort of Don Quixote type dream of getting away from and having alternative to the super high energy screamy gaming content, you know, and you know, games where maybe characters make questionable choices and it's not okay, or the people make questionable choices, and I try to do the right thing, you know, and I try to be a good person in game and out. And so I just want to thank everybody, like every single person who watches my videos and who watches the live streams, participates in Discords, maybe just a lurker, you know, like I 100% support lurking. Like, I get it. I can be a lurker sometimes too. And I absolutely appreciate it just greatly, just fantastically. I can't tell you, everybody who has anything to do with my channel, it's so marvelous. And you have just absolutely gave me such a positive thing in my life. And I could not do this without any of you. So thank you. Thank you so much in my terribly mismatched uniform. But thank you so much for 5 years of Snorgle Games. I'm not going to stop. It's going to be a long time before I go away. I'm going to keep plowing it out. I'm going to keep punching this tree with my fists until it finally breaks. That is the tree, not my fist. Listen, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed doing this. Wow, it's a long video, hour and 12 minutes. Listening to me ramble on, answering your questions. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time for something new. Thanks again.